All right, let's talk about the Maverick City, Isaac Curry interview, all the backlash that's happening now that we know how the sausage is made. And I want to start with a verse from Psalms. Psalms chapter 20, verse 7, it says, "Some trust in horses, some trust in chariots, but we trust in the Lord our God." And what I want to kind of pivot from here is that the idea of trusting in man-made things like horses and chariots, well, if you push that to our world now, we tend to lay too much trust in man-made things, including ministries and institutions, specifically pastors and choirs and music. I feel like what this interview did was it pulled back the curtain enough for us to come to some really good conclusions as Christians. We have to understand that the music industry, the gospel music industry, the CCM music industry, they're just exactly what I said. They're industries. They're corporations. There's nothing spectacularly spiritual about music being made for the Lord. It's only something that can be utilized as a tool for somebody else to come to the conclusions that Jesus is Lord, that God is awesome via the Holy Spirit itself. And here's what I want to tell you. The Holy Spirit don't even need Maverick City. The Holy Spirit don't need Chris Tomlin. Although sometimes those things are utilized in happenstance to get messages out. But the messages and the music and the people themselves are not special in any way. That's why sometimes it kind of bothers me when a musical artist that's a gospel music artist, they pivot into being a pastor. Not saying they can't, but sometimes it's even in their own head that they are now maneuvering into a spiritual leadership position when just making music for the Lord is not something that carries such a weight as the shepherd of a person of shepherding a flock of people in the name of God. So when I'm watching this interview and I'm seeing this guy literally talk business talk, I mean, he was very brash, somewhat egocentric, very flashy, but he was talking business. And a lot of us are getting really, really upset that we're hearing a man utilize something that we consider spiritual in a business manner. But we have to realize these are all man-made things. These are institutions. So utilize them in the same way you utilize other man-made things. For instance, there are many things that are made of man that I utilize to help foster the growth of God, which is already intrinsically in me. What helps to foster the fellowship via the Holy Spirit, the fellowship with people of God, the fellowship with God that is intrinsically in me. I utilize many things, Christian hip hop, CCM, gospel music. I utilize those. I also utilize Bibles, which are man-made in itself, but inside are the scriptures that if we read and we renew our mind, we can get closer to God. But there's nothing spiritual about this book that has like golden leaf sidings. We should have already figured that out. There's nothing spiritual about walking in a tabernacle like you're going to feel the presence of God. Walking into a church. Every church out here is about 3 or 4 bad mortgage payments from being an Ace Hardware. So let's not put emphasis on the man-made things. Let's realize that these things are out here to help curate something that is intrinsically only bestowed to us by the Holy Spirit. If we can get to that point, we can stop being so like twisted up about these things. Yes, they're music artists. Yes, they talk about God. Yes, some of them don't even have the heart for God, but talk about him. Yeah, that happens. But at the end of the day, let's stop putting so much freaking trust in things that only are made by fallible men. Let's remove that and put the trust in the Lord our God. So I'm actually glad it even came out. I'm glad because now we can stop spiritualizing things and misplacing our worship that only should really be for the Lord. See you on the other side.